Welcome to Sleepless News. Italian Lamont Jacobs secures shot gold medal win in the 100-meter final in 9.8s ahead of American Fred Kerley and Canada's Andre de Grasse. But Team GB's Arnold Hughes is disqualified. After the what came the who, and after the who came the how. If these Olympics are considered a concession to madness, then it is rather appropriate that a middling long jumper leapt out of left field and right to the top of the men's 100 meters podium on Sunday night. It was always said that the retirement of Usain Bolt would bring a little taste of the unexpected back into the business of running short distances. But no one said anything about this. No one said anything about an Italian named Marcel Jacobs. It was baffling and astonishing and absurd, and the sort of thing that tends to incite innuendo in a sport like athletics. To sum up the basics of how it played out, he made it from gun to tape in 9.80 seconds, a quicker time than Bolt ran in the same race at Rio 2016, and in his wake were Fred Kerley of the US and Canada's Andre de Grasse. A fraction behind them were all manner of questions. As Kerley put it, "I really didn't know anything about him. He wasn't alone." And to put this sudden ascension into some kind of deeper context, consider that the 26-year-old was jumping into St. Kitts until 2018. He was no better than good at that gig, the 8.07 meters man at his best. And in truth, he was never more than a decent sprinter. There was the European Indoor 60 meters title he won in March against a weak field, but the meaningful climb didn't start until May, when he went under 10 seconds for 100 meters for the first time. Chew over that for a moment. A line of succession that goes back through Bolt, Justin Gatlin, Maurice Green, Carl Lewis, and Jesse Owens has just been extended by a runner whose first sub-10 came 10 weeks ago. That being an athlete who had crossed that barrier only one further time before rocking up in Tokyo, and had never gone quicker than 9.95 seconds. Irrespective of he pulled it off, he was a different man on this track in this empty stadium. He drew little attention by running 9.94 seconds in an otherwise slow set of heats, and then a lot with a European record of 9.84 seconds and finishing third in his semifinal. By that point, there was finally a bubbling excitement about a final contested largely by unfamiliar names. But still, the smart money was on de Grasse, the 2016 silver medalist, our Ronnie Baker of the US. Such money would have been lost in the insanity of it all. When it was done, with Jacobs having passed Kerley at around 80 meters, he leapt into the arms of the Italian high jumper Gianmarco Tamburi, who a moment earlier had agreed to share a gold medal with Yutas Barsha. For all of a few minutes, that split goal between flying men was the most surreal moment of the day, and then along came Jacobs screaming as he crossed the line. "It's a dream, a dream. It is fantastic," said Jacobs. "It is a gold medal. It is forever." My scream was a scream that expressed all the pain from the past. Now it was a scream of joy. As an athlete, you can't always win. I have lost a lot of times, but I have always returned, and now I can say I have achieved a gold medal. Before long, the unpacking of his background began. He was born in the US to an Italian mother and an American father, and moved to Rome age 1. He hasn't met his father, and they only resumed speaking last year. "We had grown apart," Jacob said. "My mental coach said the first thing I needed to do was establish again with my father. I had never gotten to know him. That gave me the energy and the will to be everything today." There are elements of this rise which will invite skepticism. Of all sports, athletics has surrendered the right to blind acceptance. But for now, the Olympics can reflect on an almighty shock in the first 100 meters final not won by Bolt since 2004. While Jacobs was having his moment, Britain were lamenting the latest indignity of a track and field program that falls to new lows by the hour. In terms of this final, that meant Arnold Hughes falls to starting to wreck all the promise shown by his 9.98 seconds run in the semifinal. "It wasn't nerves," said Hughes, the European champion, who had also false started at the British trials in June. "My calf cramped when I went up on set, and with the cramp I moved, which is heartbreaking." Reese Prescott, Hughes' teammate, also false started his way to elimination in the semifinals, the same stage at which the heavy US favorite Trayvon Bromwell was knocked out. That latter departure seemed like madness at the time. Madness was redefined soon enough. Coverage of the 100-meter final as IT happened. The Team GB will be chasing their first 100 meters gold medal since the Barcelona Games of 1992, when Arnold Hughes lines up in lane 4 ahead of the finals. Hughes reached the final after impressively winning his semifinal, defeating this year's fastest man and Trayvon Bromwell in the process. With the field missing Bromwell, the retired Olympic champion in Usain Bolt, and the world champion in Christian Coleman, It is set to be the most open men's 100 meters final in a generation. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to Sleepless Buddy. See you next time on Sleepless News.